Yo, what's going on? Eris Wuju, and the question is, should Killer Clowns from Outer Space be free? What do you think? Gonna talk about the pros and the cons and some viable options they could make in regards to the game's price and accessibility to the game. For me, I don't think the game should be free, but the price of the game, for me, was fair, although if the price was higher, it would have been too steep. Of course, we won't all agree on this, but let's go on. When it comes to the benefits of the price, I would say that people are more invested in the game because they bought the game, which breeds a better community. A lot of times when games are free, especially when they're like niche games like this, people can kind of come in and be trolls and be super absurdly toxic. And of course, some of that still exists with the current price, but trust me, if the game was free, this would be far more prevalent. Another benefit of the game's price is that there's going to be less hackers because if the game was free, hackers can basically just make another account essentially or effectively and just come in and just play the game. So the hackers that are in your game, they basically had to buy it, right? So yeah, the barrier of entry is important of the game having a price tag on it in the first place. It prevents a lot of this. It doesn't fully stop it. Some of these hackers are still paying 40 bucks to get banned and then paying it again to basically buy the game. But at the end of the day, they're dumb and they're wasting money, right? Moving on to our next benefit of the game's price, or just having a price tag at all, right? Being it not being free. The devs can invest more time into the game. If the game makes more money, I find it hard to believe that if the game makes little to no money, the devs will have no motivation to work hard on the game. Yeah, so what I'm trying to say is that because the game has this price, it can generate more money. So people that work on the game, like developers and stuff, can come out with more cosmetics, make more maps, and it continues to keep them motivated as well. Because we know time is money. When people are investing their time, then they want to be compensated for it. I do think it's easy to say that games that are free, well, people can just make cosmetics and they can just make money off of that, but we don't know how often people are buying the cosmetics. And when people initially buy the game, that's definitely where they get the most portion of the money initially, because the skins are really cheap. So, and just to be clear, the price of the game is $40 for the original version, and the deluxe is like $60. Now let's move on into the negatives. So even for the 40 and $60, those iterations of the game, those prices still price out a lot of people that would be willing to buy the game if the game was cheaper. To put that into perspective, Baldur's Gate and Elden Ring, for example, cost $60. This game on the deluxe version is the same price. So that begs the question, is the game worth that price? Well, price is what you pay, value is what you get, I guess. Another thing that's not so good about it is that there has rarely been any sales for the original version of the game. Well, actually, there's never really been a sale for the original version of the game. There's only been a sale on the deluxe edition, and when that sale happened, it was like $42. So it was about $82 off that $60 price tag. Everybody that's playing this game, they never been able to play it without paying the $40, assuming they bought it themselves and they're playing on their own system. So again, that whole community of people that can't buy the game at this price aren't able to play it, at least on their own console or whatnot. And yeah, I will say there are a lot of people waiting for the game to go on sale, but aren't willing to pay the price that it's currently at. And I think there will be a time where these players can definitely hop in during a better price. So, in conclusion, the game shouldn't be free, but it should either go on sale more often and have the original game and the overall price reduced like $10, $20 to capture that market of players that aren't able to get in yet. This would undoubtedly have more people play the game and engage in on the fun. Another route that could be had is getting the game on a Game Pass, and there could be more players sitting there ready to try something new. Texas Chainsaw Massacre was recently removed from Game Pass, and perhaps a lot of those players would be willing to play Killer Clowns, and the people that weren't into TCM, whether it being too hard or they just weren't a fan of that game. But it's definitely about the timing of the slash to the cost of the game. So maybe when the game has a big development coming in, or a big update, that would be a perfect time to reduce the price of the game or throw it on sale more often. And obviously, if the game is on its last legs, that could be a thing as well. If there is an in-game currency at that time, perhaps they should give the people that already had the game some in-game currency credits for having purchased the game. Yeah, and I'm definitely curious what you guys think. Like the video, let me know what you guys think down below, and subscribe to the channel for more content.